Got it. All righty, everybody. We are live on Facebook now, and we're only 2 minutes late, sis. And I dressed up, if you can see. I put a jacket on, Jamie. So guys, we've been wanting to do this for a little while, and I'm probably going to have a whole bunch of people still joining. You know, I think a lot of us that have been in real estate for a while have read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent at some point in time in our life, right? And one of the things that is very prominent in that is your keep in touch plan, what they used to call the 33 touch. So if you actually read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, I still think it's a 33 touch. But a couple of years ago, it went to 36. Now it's 37. So when I looked at mine, what I use for my clients, I think it's 74 or 77 touches that we do throughout the year. And so we started looking at, okay, how do we help show everybody? And then all of us share what we use as touches, because everybody's going to want to use different things, right? So I made a PowerPoint for us just to kind of keep us on track here. Let me get into that.
You're on it with all those links today, Jamie.
I'm trying to be helpful while he brings things up, posting.
You're always very helpful.
Why can't my little thing go into the corner? Let's try this again.
Are you guys doing the shift out near you?
Yeah, I don't remember who's doing it. I think David Brousseau's doing ours.
In Charleston is 42%.
But yeah, it'll be, I think that's going to be an interesting class when they do it. So guys, what we were going to talk about here is the 37 touch program. So staying top of mind with your SOI. So what is a 37 touch? We touched on that just a minute ago. So it's a systematic way to keep in touch with all of your friends, family, past clients, future clients. So that
Hey, Joe, hold on a second. Does somebody have some, you have this background?
In supermarkets is designed his own town and launched a brand of organic food.
Sounds
Yeah.
like somebody's running. Do you have
Let
an
me
ad
see if
running
I
in the
can
background?
mute.
Sounds like you have an ad running in the background.
There we go. I should have given you the control too, so you could go in and do that stuff. But what is a 37 touch? It's a systematic way to keep in touch with your clients throughout the year, your clients, friends, family, past clients, current clients, really anybody that you know and want to do business with. No, why am I losing my stuff? There we go. So I wanted to share this study. I think a lot of us have heard this. So the NAR did a study a few years ago that said that 87% of homeowners would use their realtor again, and yet less than 20% actually do. And I believe this is where the whole 37 touch idea came from, because what they said was, I just didn't ever hear from them again. And so we know that in order to grow our business, the best way is from referrals and past clients. So why aren't we doing something to make that 87% that would use us remember us and use us? The second reason.
I was going to say, Joe, because keep in mind, I don't know if anybody else has ever had this kind of a call before, but I get past clients that will call me, or not even past clients, but like kind of past people. And they'll call me and they'll say, hey, I was just checking to make sure you were still a real estate agent first. So, and I do a lot of touching, so not inappropriately. But, you know, a lot of times they just don't know. So even if they can remember your name, they haven't heard you say anything about real estate. So they assume that you are now working at wherever else you are working. So, yeah.
Absolutely. The second reason we do it is to stay above the So I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard this analogy, but when you look at, hey, stop it. I'm a horrible guys, when I present. So what I will say is when you're looking at when you ask somebody, what are 3 sodas? They'll tell you Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, or what are 3 shoe companies? Nike, Adidas, Reebok, And so you spend a lot of your time when you're marketing trying to get above the So all of your responses are trying to get it to where when your clients are talking to people and somebody says, do you know a real estate agent? You're above that It's usually 3 that get in before the What the 37 touch really does is keep you above the So once people know you, love you, and trust you, it reminds them, like Jamie was saying, it reminds them over and over again that this is what you do. Because I can tell you, I have a lot of friends that I couldn't tell you what they do. And they've probably been doing it for 30 years and I can't tell you what they did, right? But as agents, we have to keep reminding people what we do. That's where we get our referrals from.
Right.
Also, from a branding perspective, anybody who's using you wants to know that you're advertising. And so I believe that your clients, a lot of times, what you're doing to market to your clients is also your tryout for them as far as what you do marketing to other people. And then, of course, referrals. It keeps that memory going. It keeps them looking out for you. It also, we talk about this a lot. When somebody's looking for a house, it's like when you drive down the road and you say, I'm looking for a red car. You're going to see a lot of red cars, right? It keeps it top of mind. So what are the keys to a 36 touch working? 1, it needs to be recognizable. So they need to know it's you, that it's coming from. It needs to be timely. So it needs to be systematic somehow. There needs to be timely in the sense that you can't have all 37 touches in 3 months. It has to be spread out over the year. And it has to be systematic. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it because it will fall through the cracks as you get busier and busier. Also, this is kind of my star, is trying to make them as meaningful as possible. And we're going to talk about what Loretta does or did with this quilt drive. But any way that you can make it memorable to that person. And we talked about before, being wowing one person a day. I try to look for at least one touch to be a wow touch to every single person.
Yeah, and let me throw out a few ideas. So one of the things that I try to do is on Facebook, people often post the death of a pet and or the adoption of a new pet. I send them a card that acknowledges that, like a condolence card if their pet passed away, or I send them a congratulations card if they adopted a new pet. That's kind of pet related. There's other things. One of the things I kind of missed the boat on it, but I wanted to do was sending out, I use photo cards. I use send out cards or AM cards. And all the people who posted the first day of school with their kids, like this is Jimmy's first day of the 4th grade, taking those pictures and putting it on the front of the card and sending it out. Those are great touches and being meaningful. During the pandemic, every one of I have a lot of clients who are school teachers. So during the pandemic, when the school teachers were going through a really tough time, I sent them things acknowledging that they were school teachers and recognizing how difficult things have been for them lately. So just little things like that. Meaningful is really important. So on top of, you're going to systematize, sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to take over.
No, I'm loving it.
You're going to systematize a lot of these touches. But some of them are going to be personal. Some of them you really have to customize to them, to the situation that's going on with them, because those are the ones that are going to be the most meaningful to them.
And let me clarify that a lot of times we think meaningful has to be expensive. It absolutely doesn't. It just has to be meaningful. And we're going to talk about a couple things here. So where did that come from? Oh, I'm going backwards. That's why.
Oh, when you mentioned that, sorry, can I butt in?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jamie was mentioning, the school teachers during the pandemic and when it was really, really tough and everything for them. I use handout cards, not as much as I should, but one time or during the height of the pandemic here in the Tampa area, at least, when everything was shut down, there was a volunteer effort made to try to get masks to all of the, you know, emergency workers and all of that, like all the people who needed masks and everything. And I was part of that in my little section of the Tampa Bay area. And so one thing that I did, and I haven't kept up with it, but one thing I did was I found just kind of cool little sentimental cards there and send out cards saying, hey, look, we appreciate that. And I said it to all the volunteers that I had in my area. And I said, hey, we appreciate you're doing awesome. Like no matter how little of a donation or, you know, help you've made, like you're still helping. Like, look at what all we've done. We've done this many masks for people and everything. And a lot of people reached back out to me and said, hey, I love that. Thank you so much. Like, I feel like I'm not doing enough or not able to do anything, but they still, like, they donated a little bit of elastic or, you know, some fabric or, you know, it donated their time transporting stuff. And it's still like the little bit helped everything, and being acknowledged for a lot of people is so helpful and it's just so nice. And that's a big, you know, goes along with that meaningful thing.
That's a big wow, you know, and I think, and like you said, now what you really need is you need all that follow-up that goes behind it. So the rest of now that person's you've already wowed that person, right? So now you need the other 36 touches in a year and you're good.
Yeah.
And then they'll remember you forever, right? So kind of what is a touch? So newsletters are a touch. This is one of the reasons that my touch programs in the 70s is because we send out a newsletter every week. Mailers. So we use a lot of different mailers. Quarterly calls, handwritten, which is how we do it. You call every month if you want. We do it quarterly. Handwritten cards, or the AM cards things are very cool that Jamie does. Occasion texts. So we'll talk a little bit more about those. Messenger bot or Facebook Messenger, Nurture or HomeBot. If you guys don't know about HomeBot, or if you're a KW person, neighborhood nurtures, those touches I think are very valuable because they remind people what you're doing or what's going on around them. Pop buys, and then I put some events and wow contacts in here that we'll talk about. So newsletter. The biggest thing with the newsletter, and this is the hardest thing for us as agents usually, is it's got to be consistent. Whether you send it out once a week or whether you send it out once a month or whether you send it out every other month, you have to keep it going. It does not pay off in the first month that you do it. But I can assure you, looking at this year, this is the first year that I've been able to do a newsletter consistently. And the number of return clients we're getting, that people that we would have just lost contact with, that they probably never even open it, but they're reminded, like Jamie said, they're reminded that this is what we do and we're still here.
Great question. What do you use for your provider?
Newsletters?
Are you using MailChimp or what?
I do use MailChimp. It seems to be the easiest because I also use Follow Up Boss for a CRM. And so it's got a really good link to it.
Gotcha.
Mailers. Well, first off, Jamie, did you notice that I used cats for this? It's all cats. I got rid of dogs. I didn't do dogs this time.
I'm very proud.
I loved all the cat butts.
Yeah. Oh, wait, there's cat butts at the end. I put that on purpose. So mailers, we talk about different postcards and things like that. This is one that we use every spring that goes out that talks about flea and tick reminder. My goal is to have 4 that go out every year. 1 goes out a quarter, and they're all animal related and they're all significant to the time of year. So we have one that's going out around Christmas that talks about the dangerous things around your house for your animals at Christmas, ribbon and pine needles and da 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 da. Do you use any other mailers, Jamie?
I use, you mean as far as what I mail? Of course, well, obviously holiday cards. I do various, well, sorry, trying to get this. Oh my goodness, the background blur doesn't like this. So hold on. There we go. So I do a card every year at the end of the year with a bunch of my clients' stuff in it. So they see pictures of themselves having done things and a little write-up with my info on the back. I've done other mailers, obviously, you know, just sold, just listed. I do door hangers a lot. Door hangers are a thing I use, although that's not necessarily with my touch database, so I don't want to get us off topic.
Yeah.
So what are those photos of the people that you put in there? What are they doing?
So these are, I mean, this one's really old, as you can tell, but this one, these are all either closing photos.
Okay.
So they're people's closing photos or homes I listed. And in this case, this was a foster dog I had. So I talked about, see, I foster dogs too. And then this was a foster kitten.
That's really cute. I like that idea.
So and I try to do, now I do here's a more recent one. I do this one's from 2018. This one is, it's a 3-panel card. So there's a lot of photos in there. And I still don't have photos from everybody, but at least it's a lot of photos. And this was from my pie client events. So I give away local bakery pies. I don't do Costco. I do like local business, support a local business. So yeah, I always do some sort of something that's a year recap. And if I have photos of people, I try to include that. Every event I do, when I did my 10-year anniversary winery event, I sent out a card with a photo of the attendees that the card went to. So these are all customized. So the attendees were on the front, and then there was a bunch of pictures inside from various things that happened during the event. It was
Ooh, I love that as a follow-up.
so yeah, and my pie giveaway, I have a photographer there that does a backdrop, and actually this is the backdrop. So it's a little holiday backdrop, and I have her take pictures of everybody who attends that, and then I follow up with a card. They can have it electronically, they get the photos, but I follow up with a picture of them on the front of the card, because people will save that. If you mail somebody a card, nobody prints photos anymore. Like, I sound like I sell AM cards or I swear to God, I don't sell them. I don't get anything from it. You want to make a high touch or have high impact on people, send them pictures of things that they care about. And that's usually them, their family, and their pets.
I love that. I love that. I think
I use AM cards too.
I think just coming up with different ways to use that technology makes all the difference, and to personalize it. The next one I had on here, and I put these 3 together because these are the 3 that I believe they're very hard to automate. And these are the 3 that I'm the worst at. So I'm hoping you guys can help a little bit with this. I'm horrible at sending handwritten notes, although we do one with our client appreciation event. So we send a handwritten invite to that one. Facebook Messenger, I believe in a lot of ways can take the place of a handwritten note. And then pop buys. I don't like people coming to my house, so I'm horrible about that. But I know people who use it at a very, very high level. So who uses handwritten notes or messenger or pop buys?
I just
do.
got back to the handwritten notes, Joe, because my coach was on my backside about it. And I know what you mean. It's very hard to do the handwritten note and think about what to write in the note. So like I told them, like, I check in with them, but then I tell them what I've been up to. Son graduated, working at the rescue kind of thing, and then I ask questions about like what's going on with them so that I'll get a response. But it does take me a little bit of time to like sit and do each individual client and think about what I want to say to them so that it sounds genuine. But she has me just do 10. She's like, just do 10 a week. Like, don't stress yourself out.
I mean, 10 a week's 520 people. You're covering a pretty good database at that point, right? But yeah, that's, I think handwritten notes, and we've been hearing this for years, handwritten notes are incredibly powerful, and they're just going to always be that way, because most people aren't doing them, right? Most people don't get a postcard. Facebook Messenger, I think, at least for me, man, it's a really good way to keep in touch with people. If you're just, it's something I can do 5 a day, 4 a day, whatever. I can do it when I'm sitting with my kids, I can shoot those off. I know I I shouldn't be working when I'm with my kids, but it's something you could do when you're sitting at the park. You can shoot off Facebook messages. And pop buys, I bet Loretta has a cool pop buy. Do you have a cool pop buy? Because you've been in real estate a little while, and that the pop buy has been used forever.
Yeah. My lender is great with always popping by something for me. And then I started with the Buffini. And so I'm doing the Popeyes now. Still have a hard time. I like putting them together or coming up with ideas, but the delivery is a real royal pain. But if you force yourself to do it, you just snap a picture and then you text them. So you kind of time it when you kind of know who's not going to be home. So you don't have to, I would never really ring the bell. I would just say, hey, I'm leaving this at your door. If you see the cars there. I mean, I found out one of my clients just had another baby by popping by. That was kind of embarrassing, but at least I found out. And they invited me in and the whole bit. The handwritten notes, Beverly, there's on Buffini, they give you some suggestions on what to say. It's even if it's just 2 or 3 sentences. It's just really the point of, they get something from you.
Right.
When I'm running out of ideas, I'll go to Facebook and see what they've been up to. And say, hey, I saw this on Facebook. Congratulations to your son for whatever. Just steal ideas. Popeyes, though, is a cute one. Is the market is flipping. And so I went to the Dollar Tree and I got these like little spatulas, and they come in different colors. So I had the little tag, and I put my card in there, and then something else. It's really kind, and then you wrap it up in a bag, and it's really very cute, actually, and it's colorful.
I like that.
Yeah, and then for the back to school, went to the dollar store. I was doing an open house, nobody came, so now I have all these crayons. So if you need crayons, let me know. Bought a little box of crayons and a glue stick and some pencils, a box for 24. So everybody got 2 or 3 pencils with a little Popeye tag that referenced back to school. Another tag says something about we'll be right in some time to talk to you. And there was a picture of a pencil on it. So you can use that tag with some pencils and whatever else you want to throw in there.
I love that.
Yeah, they're pretty creative.
Yeah, and I was gonna say holidays are a really good opportunity. 4th of July, like I use generic holidays, meaning non-denominational.
Right.
And 4th of July, you get sparklers. Do some sparklers and something maybe picnic related, and have like a cute little quip that goes along with that in a little bag. You can do Halloween is great. I do a big neighborhood Halloween event, a trunk or treat and chili cook-off. But and I do that in my farm. But you can still do pop buys that have Halloween related things, because honestly, it doesn't matter whether they have kids. Everybody likes getting a couple things of candy and something Halloween related. So glow sticks, all these things you can get at the dollar store for like $5 for $1 or something like that. So, yeah.
And dog treats. I know we've all
Dog
done
treats.
that at some point, right? The specialized custom dog or homemade dog treats that are fairly inexpensive to make. Occasion texts. So,
Can I go back a second?
oh yeah, sorry.
So we had 2 Popeyes this summer that we did. There was an event called Canines at the Cove, which our water park opens up the last day of the season, and dogs get to go and splash and have fun. So on Shine, spelled SHEIN, they had collapsible dog water bowls for $1 a piece. So we got those, put our little cards on them, and had a little cute saying. And then another event we did this summer, we just got bright yellow tennis balls, and of course the dogs. It was a walk, a benefit walk, and we passed those out to everyone there too.
I love that. Yeah, I think that there's so many fun ways to do it, and when we can, when you can include the dogs like you did, I mean that's great. I love that.
What was the name of that website or that company or?
It's spelled SHEIN. And the colored water bowls were more, but the black ones fit our logo anyway. So we just attached our little logo with that and our cards, and we walked around the cove and people were having a good time with their dogs. And of course, we got a lot of photo ops and made a little video and put it on YouTube and everything.
It's genius.
Thank
So,
you.
occasion texts. So I'm not sure how many of you guys use these. I have it built out actually. So if you're a KW person, you can take my my occasion texts are National Dog Day, National Rescue Pet Day. There are 5 of them that are all pet related. You guys are more than welcome to grab that if you're a KW person. I think I also have it built out in Follow Up Boss, but I'll double check and make sure that we do. However, I was talking with a very big social media agent, and I was saying, I don't do it on holidays because I think everybody does it on holidays. I want to be different. And they said, yeah, but who are all those people with on the holidays? They're with all of their family who know. So when they say, who just texted you at noon on Christmas? Oh, that was my realtor. I think there's some power in that. I really think there's power in that contact going out.
I have kind of a thought with that, Joe. And instead of just doing it as like a Merry Christmas, like just like that little text like that, I wonder if so every year I try to take my dog to usually Bass Pro Shop during the week so that we don't run into other dogs, but he gets to go in and sit with Santa and take a photo. I had done that a few years and sent it out in, from send out cards and everything, but like taking that as just a part, a text message saying Merry Christmas and having that photo. So, they can connect with you. Oh, Albert's so cute or whatever. And it takes that a step further. And then they are really discussing it with, all the family that they're around and everything. I think that's a great idea because then that ties in all the animals with it and everything. Because I know, I don't know if you guys all have Bass Pro Shops where you guys are, but I think they do photo ops for Easter and other holidays and everything as well. So that's one that the dogs are more than welcome. So I'd totally do that for every holiday if I could.
That's really neat. I like that idea. So I really the biggest thing for that is being able to find a mass text provider that will allow that
Yeah,
text,
that's true.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's some cool stuff. And just so you know, Bass Pro, the first Bass Pro is by me. So Bass Pro is based out of Missouri, out of Springfield, Missouri. It's one of our very few claims to fame in Missouri. So, but yeah,
we're kind of on the way. We're heading to Table Rock right now.
All right. Yeah, and I also like the idea, we use GIFs a lot too, because it's just taking that text message one step further. I have a GIF of my Spotted Dog Property Group logo where he winks. And we use that, if somebody says, hey, I had something, my kid just got married, I send them that, hey, we're all excited for you. So
last year we had a Santa Claus we hired, and we did Santa Claus pictures. And so we had all those and sent out to the people.
That's cool. I love I think occasion texts are something that I don't do well, but that we should be using more. That's just my opinion.
Well, yeah, and you can even, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting, but it's drawing my brain a million miles a minute. You could even you wouldn't have to go and take, your dog or your cat or whoever to Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny or whatever. I mean, I was just thinking even for New Year's, if they would tolerate it, obviously, maybe put a little hat or the cute little glasses or something some animals will tolerate that, some won't. But I mean, that's an easy thing to do on your own and just take with your phone and stuff and send out, on that aspect. And I think it was Sheely that was just mentioning, like, hiring the Santa Claus and doing the photos, like kind of like hosting it yourself. I was just thinking, like, how cool would it be to do like a fall thing like that, like hiring a photographer and doing like a day or two of pet photos, and first having it out to all your past clients or your current clients or whatever too. And yeah, I love that idea.
I really like the idea with you. So we make a picture for every holiday that goes on our Facebook with our dogs. So why am I not sending that out as a text?
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
now you
nobody's-
guys just blew my mind. Like, why have I not been doing this already? Like, I
and
should
not
have.
everybody's going to see your Facebook, even if they follow you. They might not see it for what's like 3 or 4 days now, it seems like. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, why? I mean, now it's just like, why haven't I been doing this? That's why I love having these masterminds with everybody, because that's when we come up with just what, that taking it one step further, right? I threw this in here because it's one of the things that I use. I use HomeBot. Some people use the neighborhood nurture. I know Berkshire Hathaway has, I forgot what their program is. What it in essence is doing is sending automated value once a month. So showing people how their home value is going up. HomeBot's what we use. So HomeBot sends like recent sales and things out to them. It also has some calculators for, hey, if you pay this off or if you did this with your house, it has all of that stuff. The neighborhood nurture is the piece that sends kind of that sends pieces like it sends what's sold in the neighborhood. I think it's eventually going to send like restaurants and stuff, but I don't know what all it does. And I know that's horrible because it's my brokerage, but I don't know what it all does. But I know
the
it's
best open rate.
What's that?
I said it has the best open rate. It's in the 90s consistently for me.
What, HomeBot?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's their house. That's why it pops up. It's their house. They look at it. I mean, I love HomeBot. And if you guys don't use HomeBot, your lender will give it to you. Almost every lender uses HomeBot, and almost all of them. Is that how you get yours, Shelly?
So the lenders will do it for your first 25 for free with you. And if you want to go above 25, you can go up to 500 for only 25 a month.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's all I pay. Hey, you guys broke up when in Podunk, Missouri here. I was going to tell you, I have the cutest template through Canva, and we did this and got a great response. We did Growloween for Halloween, and people dressed their dogs up and sent in pictures and made a little, collage of it, and then made a video of it and everything else, and then gave out some PetSmart cards.
I love it. That's
What was the name of it? What was it called?
I love that.
Yeah, Growloween is what I called it.
Okay.
And I can share the template on here if you guys are Canva users, and you can go in and then change it up and make it personal to you, because it is. I was so proud of it. I put it in the Canva group, and they put it as like one of their top ones for October.
I just love the idea of creating something where people are sending you pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
because it's like that's like a reverse Popeye.
Yeah, it's great. That's a great idea.
I was just sitting here trying to think of what I could do. I wanted to do some kind of like photo contest like that for Halloween, but I didn't want to like do the basic, like, whatever your Halloween decorations are. I love that idea of like the pet costumes. I love that. I think I am going to steal that. I would love that Canva template. If you're able to share it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like to see it too. And
If
also,
you guys want it, I'm sorry. If you guys want to tag me, I'll make sure I get it to you.
I love that idea. I because they're seeing their dog then in your video, that they're gonna watch your video because they're waiting to see their dog, right? That's great. I love it.
And then we just
yeah.
get a random spinner and put all the dogs' names in there and spin it. And, Spot wins the $50 gift card to Amazon or whatever.
But Joe, I do like the idea of taking it a step further and doing like a little video. You could, you could very easily just throw them all in a slideshow, throw some music on it, and share that like on Halloween night, or, the night after, or the day after or something. And, as an extra, like, hey, keep, stay tuned on my page or whatever for people.
Since we have
And we
to
do-
take everything a step further, now what you do is when you post that video, you tag everybody whose animals in the video, and now all their friends get to see your video, and they open it and look.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they know this is an annual event to be expecting it. And we did, I'll throw another one out there that we did for Super Bowl. We passed out the cards last year, but this year we're going to do it the opposite way. I have digital Super Bowl cards. So then they watch for different commercials. And then we send them to them. And it was hilarious because unfortunately we weren't in the Super Bowl this year. But people were during the Super Bowl sending me a message, blackout. And they knew they got an entry if they got a blackout or a bingo or whatever. Of course, we threw everyone's name in, so it didn't matter.
That's neat though. Yeah, and that kind of leads into what we were getting ready to talk about is events. Everybody, I mean, there's tons of different events. I can tell you, we do a big event out at the rescue every year. The rescue I work with is on a farm. And so we bring our clients out, we do a barbecue. This year we gave away a Traeger grill, and everybody that comes gets a ticket, and then they can buy extra tickets. I think we raised like $1,500 or something, which, considering I bought the grill for $600, I thought was a pretty good deal. And really I didn't plan on raising money that way. I know a lot of brokerages do client appreciation events that you can tag onto. Certainly fundraisers within your rescue, you can turn those into, I invite clients to rescue events all the time. And it's just another reason for me to reach out to any of my clients, which, the reality is 95% of my clients are animal people anyway. The other thing that I really want to point out with events is one event can be 4 or 5 touches if you make it that way. So you have the touch where you invite them, you have the event, you have the follow-up. A lot of what I do is I send it a month ahead. I send one a week ahead where I text them and say, hey, just wanted to remind you that this is coming up. And so by the time the event's done, we've had 4 or 5 touches to that person right there. And so keep that in mind, that if there's very successful teams who get 36 touches by doing 3 or 4 events.
And throw in a save the date before that.
Exactly. Yeah. Save the date. I think you can make so many cool touches out of it. And then let's throw this in at every event, do a video or do a photo booth, or have everybody take a photo and send it to you. And then you could do a video at the end too and add a touch to that. I bet if you wanted to, you could make every event 7 or 8 touches. Don't you think, Loretta? Like if you try to stretch it out.
Mm-hmm.
You can
You could do the social media, the invite, the reminder text, the personal phone call. And then maybe if you wanted to do the mail, a save the date postcard, or save the date first, of course, then the invite, then a text reminder, and then maybe a little phone call. Leave a message if you have to, but chances are they're going to listen to the message.
I will say voicemail right now is far better than it was even like 2 years ago. People are now listening to their voicemails again because we don't get very many.
I was going to say, you can use slide dial if you want to bypass the conversation and go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, I think there's so many cool ways. And then we were also talking about, rescue events too, whether not just fundraisers, but other things that they have going on. There's very good, you can use those to be events for your clients, where at least you can invite people out. I know we even use, I don't really call this an event, but when we do a crazy rescue, I have a group of former clients or past clients that are very big into rescue, and I send them, a text message or an email saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know about this crazy thing. Like we just did a dog fighting ring, just my friend busted just recently. You know, my friends like to know about that stuff. So what other events am I missing, Jamie?
I was, well, I'm doing a Marty Paz Pet Parade and Costume Contest, which is a neighborhood event. But the other thing I was
Oh, I
gonna say
love
is-
that one.
Yeah, thanks. The other thing I was going to say is make sure I'm trying to get better at this. Use hashtags, create an event hashtag, and make sure you post it around whatever your event is, and encourage people to post using the hashtag so that it shows up on your feed when you're, you know, and you can set up a follow that hashtag thing, and, you know, you can ask people to tag you. But sometimes I just find that if you can get them to use one hashtag, that's something. Creating a photo frame, you know, you can have them custom made, or you can just make it yourself. Go to a store and get a piece of not MDF, but the board, not cardboard, but it's a little thicker. Anyhow, foam board. Thank you. Cut out, make it a frame, and then put the hashtag on the frame, and then decorate the frame for whatever the event is, and make people do photos holding that as kind of like a frame for it, and then using that to remind you.
One thing I will say, and this goes to rescues also, any event you do, you want to have something to collect information, right? And I've started really pushing the rescue to do this too, because they don't do a good job, and no rescue does a great job of keeping follow-up after an event. And usually it's because they don't know aren't collecting that information anywhere. So that I think is key, to have something at the event that allows you or gives a reason for them to give you their name, phone number, address, and email. So keep that in mind whenever you're planning an event, that you really want something in that event. We've done dog kissing booth. That one everybody loves, right? It's the pity kissing booth. And then we send them the picture. You know, here, if you leave me your email, I'll send you the picture.
We did that for Sparkles to raise money for her heart surgery.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a fun way to do it. You know, there's all sorts of little cutesy things, but I always encourage everybody to make sure that they're finding some way to collect information from the people that you don't know that come. So
on that point, actually, obviously I'm still new to all of this, and with, you know, the pet stuff. So some of my events have just been like, from the team that I was on before, they've just been like free events for the community. And so I actually had put it, usually I'd put it on Facebook and all of that and everything. But I started actually instead putting it on Eventbrite, which if you're hosting an event for free, they don't charge you. And then you're like, everybody gets a ticket, and you have that CSV file or Excel file or whatever with everybody's info. And like some of the events that I've hosted, I've literally just an hour before I leave my house to go set up for that event and everything, I print that out, and then I've got that there, and they can even just sign in like, oh, hey, this is accurate, or, here's a better email address for me for these photos or for this and everything. And then I use that as well to email the people and say, hey, a reminder, like, especially if I'm planning ahead of time, I do send them like an email reminder. Oh, hey, don't forget, this is a week out. And then, like the morning of, like, hey, I can't wait to see you today, or, whatever the case may be and everything. So that's an easy way, to also maybe, put it out to your rescue, say, hey, look, we can just create the free event in here. It's absolutely free. And then you've got that, so they can put it in whatever system that they're using to see, potential adopters or whoever.
I love that. I'm not real familiar with Eventbrite, so I'm going to have to dig into that, because I think there's a lot of different uses for that.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely.
really cool. So wow touches. So if you see that very top one says Loretta's raffle idea. So I don't know if Loretta wants to share what she did, or if she wants me to share what she did, but this is genius.
Yeah, I could share, but keep talking. I want to get my little card of what I wrote.
So, okay. So I'll give you guys the rundown of what she did here. So Beverly here was doing a quilt raffle in Celebration, Florida, a pity quilt raffle. So Loretta bought some tickets from Beverly for the event, put them in cards and sent them to past clients who were pity lovers. This to me is one of the most genius touches you could ever come up with, because it cost her a few dollars to make the touch. It's something they're always going to remember, whether they win or not. They're always going to remember you did this. And it allows you to use your advertising dollars to support rescue, which to me is the coolest thing you could possibly do in real estate. So when Loretta shared this with me, I started thinking, like, whenever any of us are doing a raffle like that, that's a giveaway raffle, we should all be helping each other by that. We should all be taking our advertising money that we would be, because a lot of people, the old Wow Touch, or the one that used to be in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, was the $5 gift, right? Under $5, something that you can have. This is way better than a $5 gift. And it's way more memorable. I just,
Oh, yeah.
I love this so much.
Can I show you my card?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm on screen or not. Can you all see this?
Yep.
Hold it up.
There you go.
Yep, put it in front of your
Okay.
camera. That's super cute.
Okay, that's one of the Buffini cards. So I was sending out little summer cards, like happy summer. I didn't know what to say. So I said, the beginning of the summer, hey, happy summer. Hope you have a wonderful time, whatever you're doing. Well, when it came to this now, I needed something with a dog, and it kind of looks like a little pity, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have an extra card of what I wrote, so I'll summarize it. But just dear so-and-so, a colleague is, I would just want to let you know that I entered your name into a drawing for this quilt, because I also took a picture of the quilt and printed that out, so they got an extra, so they know what we're talking about. My friend and colleague, realtor in Florida, volunteers at this rescue. They're doing a fundraiser, and I know you love pities, and I want to let you know I was thinking of you, and I entered you into the drawing. Fingers crossed that you win. Regards, Loretta. And I was getting responses. I mailed this to these people, so that was another touch. And I was getting some really sweet responses that they really appreciated that. And then, of course, when we all lost, I had to.
Sorry, Loretta.
Yeah, I know, Beverly. I thought you had my back on that one, girl.
Please, I had nothing to do with it.
No. Actually, I'm kind of glad that we didn't win, because then I would have had to pick a name out of these 5 people.
Right.
Of my client, right? So you really kind of did me a favor by not picking any of.
I
Picking
think
my name.
another one for the holidays. Pam's
Right.
still
So
doing another
anyway, I was I got some text because I text everybody that unfortunately we lost. Maybe we'll have better luck next time. But they were really touched by the thoughtfulness.
You're thinking of them. And
Yeah.
it's such a unique way to look at creating new touches to people that will wow them, right? I mean, every person's going to remember that they got that. So
Yeah.
I have to say, I think that's one of my favorites. I did include $5 gift on the Wow Touch. I'll tell you one of the things I use pepper jelly, because I use it to barbecue. And so I drop pepper jelly off at everybody's house a couple times, once a year. Anything you can do that's cheap, that's memorable, and that more you want things that are personal, as personalized as you can get to that person. So I don't want to take an axe to my friend that lives in the city, you know what I mean? But make sure that it's relevant to them.
Well, Joe, if you go onto Pinterest and type in realtor Popeyes, so many ideas come up, because that's what I do. I'm like, what's the Popeye I'm going to do for Halloween? And there was one that just came up for a pumpkin, and it says, we're always willing to carve out time for you and your referrals. So you drop the pumpkin off with this tag around the stem.
I love it.
But if you type in realtor Popeyes, so many ideas come up. So when you get stumped, like, that's what I do. I go there.
Mm-hmm.
I
Then
love it.
take that another step and then have them carve their pumpkin and send you the picture and do the
Correct.
video and have all that.
Wow, that would be super cool. That would be super cool if you took it that. I think that there's a lot of wow touches. You know, people use ball game tickets, things like that. Those are all the things that people have traditionally used for wow touches, right? I'm just thinking different things you could do. I know one of our wow touches is when we close, at closing, they get new dog tags. It's not technically a touch, I guess, because it's at closing, but it's a wow. They always say, I didn't even think about this. So anything like that that you guys do, that you guys want to share, because I think those wow touches are hard to come by, but when you can, they're huge.
Well,
The
like
tag idea is genius.
I got sick of
Because-
having to find people's dogs that got out.
Yeah, but I mean, like they're moving into a new house and everything. That is something like you don't think about, like, oh, I've got to do, and and then send them like to take that a step further, send them a mailer, say a week later, and say, hey, don't forget to update your microchip for your pup or the cat or whoever with your new address. Because that is something you forget about. I mean, like I wouldn't think about it until like later when my dog actually got out. Like I'd be like, oh no, I never updated that, and that's at my house, across the county or something like that. Yeah, and then that gives you that extra touch as well, and it's like and it is relevant information and important information.
And dog tags you can buy for about $5 at $6 at PetSmart. So we do it a lot of times on the way to closing. Also, anybody that does crafting and has a Cricut, there's actually a program to do them on the Cricut too.
You have to have the right Cricut though. I don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know my wife found a way to do it.
I have the one step further or below it. So I'm like, I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then I was like, no, I don't have the engraving one.
But it's a super cheap, a lot of us bring a packet with us to closing, right? Like ours, the packet we bring, it has our keychain, it has the grocery bag that has our stuff on it, has all these different things. But the dog tags we take out and we say, here, put these on before you start moving, because it was inevitable that dogs get out during the move. And I spent so much time running around trying to find people's dogs that got out. And then they'd have a tag and somebody take them to a rescue that was 40 miles away, or, just didn't work out.
Hey, I just had an idea. You just made me think of something. When you are working with sellers who have pets, having some sort of cling sticker made that says something came up with this idea 3 seconds ago, so don't quote me on the language, but something to the effect of, don't let our dog/cat out, or, with 3 cats, don't let them out, or just some sort of something it's a cling sticker, so it won't permanently affix. But, and then you could have your logo in the corner, or whatever.
Yeah.
But just give it to your sellers as some sort of something to make sure that you're protecting the pets during the showing process.
That's thoughtful.
That
Yeah.
I do like that idea. And that reminds me too, when somebody new moves it, like as a buyer and they're moving into their new home as well, they do those little clings with, like, in case of emergency, these animals are in here and stuff too. Making up something like that for them for their new home. Because those things actually, I have seen where the clings literally, like, they're all faded and everything. So it's like, oh crap, well, now, nobody's going to be able to know what that said, how many years ago and everything. So maybe
Yeah,
even
that's on our front door.
as like a year, maybe not yearly. I don't know how quickly those things would fade, but as another touch too, like that. I don't know how expensive those things are, but
Or when you know that they got a new pet, you could send them a new one.
a new updated one.
Because there's like a square number of dogs, number of cats.
Yeah.
And you're gonna need to update that. So you could send them a new one that has your logo on it.
So wait a
Yeah.
minute. Now you just took this. So you just took Jamie's, hey, they got a new animal postcard or mailer, and now you add this in, and in that mailer, you're sending them, hey, remember to update this. This is why this is so much fun to do. Because now you're
Can I-
taking it so far that you're never going to be forgotten.
And you know what? I just thought that's a great giveaway too. Just having those. So like I was always trying to come up with an idea for my Marty Paws event of what to give away. You don't want to give away logo poop bags because I think that sends a bad message. But some sort of something. And cling stickers with the pet dogs and cats, it doesn't matter what people have, right? You know, they select their own thing and they can go to all the participants. Look at me.
Can
come up
I
with
jump
ideas.
in?
Thank you.
Can-
Yeah.
Guys, can I jump in?
Yes.
Somebody, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch who said this. They were wondering how much those little, in case of emergency pet stickers are. I have a ton of them. Years ago, I was doing some kind of giveaway at a real estate thing. I got mine from PetSmart. You just ask the manager.
Oh, they'll give it to me.
Yes.
Sorry. They'll give them
Yeah.
to you for free.
Yeah, if you want,
That
I'll run and
wouldn't
go.
have your logo on it, but yeah.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have a
think it's an
logo.
even,
Yeah.
You could make them with a logo you could make stickers for like 4 for a penny or something like that. So, I mean, you might have to cut them up, but you
Yeah.
know,
I
I
did
love that
coasters.
idea.
Yeah, sorry, this kind of like tangent there, but I did coasters like that at some of my local bars and stuff. And I mean, it was like a sticker place and it was really cheap. I think it was like 1,000 for $250 or something like that. So, and I'm pretty sure they do stickers the same way. And I think those are probably even cheaper than the coasters. So yeah, 100% to put your logo on it. Cause I think that's going to be the help on that. And like, if you put the clings in maybe with one of your cards or something, I think that would be okay. But if you're just sending them the clings or using them as a giveaway, like make sure you have the logo on it. So then
Yeah.
anybody seeing that too, like, hey, they had guests coming over for whatever reason, they'd see that and be like, and maybe, say something to them and they'd be like, oh yeah, my agent gave it to me because of blah, blah, blah. And there's that great referral, like, oh wow, that's an agent that's, on top of things.
I love it.
Guys, I just put something in the chat because I bought one for myself. It says, my pet is home alone. See purse or wallet for emergency contact. And it's on my keychain. Because if my son's at his father's, like it is just me here. So if I was to get into an accident or something happens, I need someone to be able to call and come by and take my dog out. And so I just put that in there. And like here, we have a lot of people that are single, that their dog is everything, but they don't have someone. If something happened, they wouldn't have anybody to go take care of their pet.
That's
I
a
like
really
that.
cool wow too. You know what I think I need to do? Oh my gosh. I think I just figured out the cheat code here. So we do our Spotted Dog Property Group keychains.
Right.
Their keys go on when we close. Why don't I put that on the back?
Right. And then there's a card. I just put it in the chat, the link, Joe, but there's a card that goes in your wallet or your purse that has all the information, my name of pet, contact name, contact number, vet name, vet number.
Man, I love that. I love the idea of putting it onto something I already give them.
Right.
And yeah, man, that could be a really cool.
The sticker's great if the emergency's at your home. But this, like for us, we're realtors and we're out on the road all the time. So if something was to happen, I need someone to know that my dog needs to be walked. Someone needs to come over to my house and somebody has a key to my house or the code to get in.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do. I think that's a genius way to take what a lot of us were already doing and giving away keychains
Right.
and making it again so incredibly meaningful.
Joe, I would really like, I don't know if you can send me like a link to what you do for your keychains and everything. That was like my last thing that I was just thinking about. I wanted to, like, I was going to do acrylic blanks, but then I was like, oh, but if I'm putting my logo on one side and then I'm trying to do double-sided and I cannot figure out the right thing to do. My husband wants like a wood crafting embosser thing or something. And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that or if I just want to order something.
Yes, I will send you. I'll have to ask. Ashley did them, so I'll have to ask her where she did them. But yeah, you can print on both sides. But I think that's great. Put your logo on the one side and on the back. I love that idea. Okay, so I went ahead and threw this in because what tech do you need to be able to make the 37 touch work, right? You really regardless of which one you use, you need a CRM that works. I think we all know we need it. We probably all don't use it. I can assure you, I don't use mine near as much as I should, and I use it 10 times a day. But I think you have to have CRM. You have to have some sort of way to do mass email for your newsletter, because I think the newsletter to me is the easiest touch to do often, the easiest one to automate. AM cards, or what's the other one? Send out cards. I think everybody should just have an AM cards account anyway.
There's also a company called Banner Season, which does I literally use all 3 card programs. I'm a little bit of a card junkie. And Banner Season actually has much more involved merchandise that you can have logoed that I use as one-ofs, not for like bulk, but like special occasion that you can have monograms somehow. Yeah.
Let me ask you, if you were only going to be, if you could only have one of the card softwares, what would you do?
It would, that's a hard question. Well, I would probably say AM cards because I think it's the easiest.
Okay.
From a user-friendly standpoint, it is like a no-brainer.
So if you were going to start, if you were going to start doing this for the first time, you'd go AM cards. Gotcha. Text software, I think a lot of us have this, whether it's Twilio or there's dozens of them out there. I think having it is, look, email doesn't get opened near as often. I think it's down now. I believe text is down to like 80%, but it's still 80% of them get open, versus I think it's under 5% still of email. Video email. So this is something that I've been telling myself for 5 years I need to be doing, is using BombBomb, right? Does everybody know about BombBomb? Video email. We all need to be using it, because what it is it's creating, it's almost forcing what it is it's forcing a face-to-face conversation, right? A face-to-face interaction. And it's one of those things that I know I need to use that I don't use, but I think I think having some sort of video email software is important. Facebook, of course, for everybody. I am amazed that there's still agents that like, well, I'm against social media. Well, then you need to get a new job, because it's not going to work. So the Nurture or HomeBot or whatever program you use to give automated value information about the area. Gifts and swag. So that's for your $5 pop by, or your wow gifts, whatever it is. I don't know why that says sign in. I don't know what that was from. Okay. So
wasn't that for the events and stuff? Like for events and stuff, like keeping up with the people and putting them in. That's how I saw it, at least. Kind of like an open house, like sign in.
Yeah, like, no, that's that is what I think I was using it for. I don't know. I'm not sure what that one. See, I told you, Jamie, cat butts.
That one's little spider dangling.
I use Shutterstock, and so I have to, like, I get 10 pictures a month, and so every month at the end of the month I'm like going and grabbing whatever funny ones I can find, and this one was pretty good. So thoughts, ahas, takeaways.
Lots of ideas. Like we have our 5K run coming up, so getting that idea for the disposable or the collapsible water bowls was huge, because that was one of the things I wanted to do for our event. Yes. So
does anybody know if you can get those branded yet?
Yes.
Somebody's got to sell
forimprint.com.
Right? 4imprint has them.
Yes. One of the dog walking companies in my area, actually, they try to work with a bunch of like local businesses and have the local businesses brand one certain thing for their like care packages for their new families and stuff. So they've got like you can logo the collapsible water bottles, you can do the poo-poo bag thingies. There was a ton of stuff on there. She sent me a bunch, and I can share links in the the event for this. I can share those links, because there were a ton of them and everything. And I was actually going to reach back out to her and see if she was putting together new packages now that I've got some money to start advertising some more.
I love that. I love the water bowls. And like, I was looking around, I didn't bring my dog today. Like we have these little like round things that the treat or that the poop bags go in, and they're
Yeah.
like rubber and they connect to the
Yeah.
leash itself.
Mhm.
I wonder if I can get those branded too.
That's what I
Because
meant was the bag holders.
I'm just
Um,
thinking people keep them, right? It's something they're seeing every time they walk their
They're
dog.
seeing that all the time. Yeah.
I just worry about having my logo on anything related to poop.
We're
My
not putting it
brand-
on the bag.
You probably could.
Yeah, you probably can. But I love the idea. I think that there's a couple different
Mm.
different
Sorry.
swag gifts that we can use that most agents aren't using that will set you apart.
They've got the water bottles as well with the little on
The
top.
on top, those are
Yes.
great.
You can logo those as well. Like I was looking to put a QR code to go to my YouTube channel, but like you could put, I mean, you could obviously put your logo on it instead. There was
You know
a ton
what I
of
just
stuff. I'll share
realized?
those links.
I think my wife's been stealing my samples for Imprint sends them to me because I have all of those things now. And they showed up at I think she's been stealing my, you know how they'll send you like one and say, hey, what do you think of this? I think Ashley's been stealing my stuff. Because we have both of those. But I love the idea. We do a ruck a couple times a year with a buddy of mine that's a dog trainer. Like bring that stuff to the ruck too. You know, man, I love it. What's another aha that somebody has?
For me, the aha was the pet costume thing. Cause like I said, I was trying to find something for Halloween. Like Halloween's one of my favorite holidays. So I was like, but I felt like the Halloween decorating contest was just like overdone. But like the pet one that takes it, you know, it puts it into my niche, and it's just kind of, it puts it there. And then, yeah, you taking that the step further and having like a little video of all of our Halloweeny dogs or kitties or whatever. I think that's a cool, really, really great idea. And then having people stay tuned for the video, like I love that. I'm definitely gonna use
And
that.
it's very low cost. I mean, you give away a $50 PetSmart gift card and you're good, right?
Mhm.
I mean, the cost on that for the response, I think, is huge.
What
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
like to hear more about is first, how did you encourage participation? And then what was your Then what was your verbiage, let's say, to or your ad to get them to participate?
Shelly, are you still here?
I was gonna say, I have to jump off too, so.
That's okay. Yeah, I think Shelly's the one that did it. So
Okay.
I'll ask her if she can share. She said she'll share whatever. But I love the idea because I mean they're enticing because the enticement for them to send it in, of course, is that they're getting in a raffle for a gift card, right?
Yeah.
But I think again, taking it that next step and that next step and that next step, because now you also keep this in mind, Caitlin, you also have a touch for next year. Hey, remember last year we did this? Here's the video. Who's going to be in it with us this year?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I love it. Let me ask those of you that do a 36 touch already. I think there's several of us. If you were going to tell somebody the first step to getting it going, what would it be?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah. Stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest.
I think
that's
others
huge.
tend to be procrastinators and things that we just don't want to do.
If you could do, so I always say you have to have at least three of these different types of touches to make it work, right? You can't just have 36 phone calls because nobody wants to hear from you that much, right? I think that's one of the keys is making sure that you have it start with 3 ways of contacting people and build out from there. I also think if you don't have or you're not using your CRM, get one, use it, categorize it. My gosh.
What you said you use Follow Up Boss, Joe, what else is everybody using? Just curious. So I use Boomtown.
I have KV Core.
Okay.
And I have Engage More. Actually, I'm trying to explore with Engage More, but I mostly just use KV Core right now, which has text messaging. I've got a mass email thing in it, and I have BombBomb hooked up with it, so it's all in one.
Yeah,
love
I
it.
can do that with Boomtown too. I just always like to hear what everybody else is using, because when we had Bonnie on, she was switching over to Sierra, and I had never
She's
heard
using
of that.
Chime. She uses Chime. Yeah, they use Chime, which is newer. Chime's super cool.
Oh yeah, it's a Sarasota agent that was in our office,
Yeah.
came to do listing stuff, and she was using Sierra, which I'd never heard of.
Sierra is interesting because the one thing that Sierra allows, that I don't know of anybody else that allows yet, is to be able to put memes and GIFs into your automated plans. So I can send a meme, I can send a GIF, but I can't put it into my automated plan. And that was one of the changes that they made. And it has to do with the data that has to go to send a GIF. So, but yeah, I love that. I mean, I think, I'll tell you what my takeaway is why the heck have I not been, every time we do these pictures of my dogs dressed up for a holiday, why haven't I been texting that to everybody? I mean, that to me is, we should have been doing this all along. I love that. Kathy, what do you use?
I was using Follow Up Boss. I was on a team, and that
Okay.
team just left to EXP, and my partner and I decided we wanted to stay with Keller Williams. So I'm back in Command, and I'm trying to reintegrate myself into Command and relearn it. I don't have a phone number hooked up to Command. I'm so used to just hitting that button, and
Yeah.
so that's just been a month now. So and putting all my contacts in Command correctly was kind of a nightmare. So that's what I use. And lazily, I put everybody on a smart plan just to get my information out there. And now
What market are you in?
I'm in West Ventura County, which is Southern California.
Okay.
I am south of Santa Barbara, although I was in Santa Barbara all day Wednesday showing properties. And Ventura County is between like Santa Barbara and Malibu.
Okay.
This is what I
So-
was, sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is, I bet you the neighborhood nurture through Command actually works pretty good in that area, because it's a well-established neighborhood. They're well-established neighborhoods. So I would put everybody on the neighborhood nurture smart plan that's in there, if you haven't, because it comes every month and it's relevant to their property. I would do that. And it just take one thing, it'll add 12 touches without you having to do anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I have a couple of client events coming up, and our office is changing locations, and we're going to do an open house, and I get to be on the committee and plan. And I was already going to plan, because it's late October, I was already going to plan a pet parade costume contest, but I got some really great ideas here from everybody. A photo booth. I have a friend that
think
runs
we need to do
360-degree photo booth, so put animals in photos with their owners.
I love it. I think we need to do a pet parade mastermind at some point, because so many people have done it. I wonder if I could get there's one guy from KW that did it years ago, and it's been going on for like 18 years. I don't remember who it is, but I'll find him. It's one of the guys from Never Ending Referrals. I'd love to have one of them come on and talk about theirs that they do, because I think I think that you can create an event that lasts many, many, many years by doing that, and it just keeps growing. It's not something people get bored of. So, well, guys, thank you all so much for coming. Does anybody have any questions or anything that we missed or anything?
No, I think it's just putting stuff into action, truthfully, like myself. Like, it's like, I got all these ideas. I got to do something.
It's getting the time, and we all have this, this problem that, we're going to run into, but it's getting the time. And the good thing is in most of these cases, once you get it set up, it runs for the rest of the year.
Right.
So that's the one thing I will say. And I will use a KW boldism here and say that, you know, work expands to the time allowed. So give yourself less time to do it, and you'll get it done just as well. So guys, thank you guys so much for coming on, for talking this through, for sharing all of the crazy ideas that we come up with, and for helping us take everything to the next step. Because I think that I will say that's the coolest to me about this meeting, was that every time somebody said, let's do this, somebody else was said, let's take this one step further. And that's where we become more powerful than the agent around us, right? So guys, thank you so much. I will share the recording of this onto the group too, so that if you guys want to come back and watch it later, you can. And as always, have your pet spayed and neutered. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye,
Good to see
y'all.
everybody in person too.
Hi, guys.
Bye.